So I always come out here in the woods with my buddy Jaime from JLD Instinctive Archery. I always get that wrong. I don't know why. But he has his like little canteen survival kit. It's been showcased on a couple videos, but we've never done like a dump of what's in the kit. So I know you guys like all these gear dumps out there with backpack dumps and stuff like that. We thought, hey, we're out here in the woods. Let me see what you got. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to let Jaime explain what he carries and the thought process behind everything that he carries in his kit. So let's cut away and let's see what he has in his kit.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Like John explained, I'm just going to kind of go over this real quick. This is as far as the actual baseline kit of the Pathfinder School Self-Reliance Canteen Cook Kit. It's nothing you'd spin out. This is the Gen 2 version. I just found out. I went online and I'm like, oh, I guess I got the Gen 2 version. I bought it maybe about a couple of years ago. But I'm always kind of playing around with things to see what works best. Some things are staples, but you know, I got to keep an open mind as technologies, fabrics, and you guys know what I mean by all that. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown, because if you have one of these, maybe you've already modded out and then throw some ideas there, or you have something similar to this. It doesn't have to be the Pathfinder one, but something where you build on it. So I'll begin with the whole concept, the philosophy. When John and I go walking around out here, the number one thing, besides some of the basics that I have on my body, like pant pockets, you know, besides lighters, knives, compasses, you know, like here's one right here. There's the stuff that's on my body, but then there's the other things. The most important for just doing a day hike is water. That's number one for me. But also then, okay, well, what if we get hurt? Well, boom, first aid kit. So I'll start with that. This first aid kit is something that I got. You can pick these up at an Army Navy store. The contents isn't what's important, because like any first aid kit that you purchase, I always recommend going through it, seeing what works, and stuff's going to kind of fall out. And I've gutted this thing. I've gutted, taken out a lot of the old military type of gear that was in here, first aid gear, and I've replaced it with my own. Everything from mosquito repellent, Band-Aids, obviously, some painkillers, sunblock, if in case someone gets diarrhea from which would cause you to become dehydrated, all that kind of stuff. So take the time to think about what may be used in your environment, in your situation, and then customize your first aid kit. And it happens to clip onto the side very well of this canteen mess kit, cook kit. Let me get the button, sorry. Via the Molly. So it's the old school Molly or Alice, I'm sorry, Alice clips. I don't want to take everything apart, but you guys get the idea. Along this side, I just got a simple little flashlight clipped on there. Make sure I'm staying camera. And I do have a simple little Leatherman clip. Now, the flashlight and the multi-tool, I have those on my body as well. I have a Leatherman wave and I got a flashlight, but so this redundancy, just for the sake of redundancy. On the other side, Baco Laplander, everybody knows what that is. And it's kept in this is a kind of an ammo pouch for, I forgot what kind of European weapon system for their thinner magazines.
Like a 9mm round,
I believe that's
type,
what it is. And I got that.
Bag.
I wish I remembered the YouTube video that I watched that the gentleman talked about.
Some keyboard commando will chime in and tell us. I'm sure will teach us.
Because this was purchased on Amazon or eBay. So yeah, somebody probably knows out there, because I'm not saying anything new here. Just showing off what I rock. This Tops Brachimo from designed by Joe Flowers. This was a gift from good old Wingman 115. He gave this to me, and it's a great knife. I've always been a fan of a 5-inch blade. That's always kind of been my unicorn in that sense. Great sheath, but because of the metal clips, it kind of chews up the leather belt that I wear. So you know what? It fits perfectly with this Molly straps that are on this canteen. So I keep it here as a backup blade, a second blade. And one of the things, if y'all noticed, you saw this huge lanyard system. Again, I've done a lanyard video on this channel almost a year ago now. So there's a way that this lanyard system works. This longer lanyard actually wraps around my hand. So because it's a thin handle on this knife, it really keeps it locked in. So that's one version of using this. The other one, the smaller loop, I insert the ring and pinky finger, and I can really choke back and safely chop with this. So even though I don't have a hatchet, tell you what, this kind of substitutes as a hatchet. So
It's like a little force multiplier type thing.
exactly. This is kind of like a overly built paracord bracelet, but that's my cordage.
I'm gonna zoom in.
So whatever, you know, the whole, what is it, the 5 C's, Dave Canterbury's triple C's.
How much
whatever.
cordage would you say is on that right there?
I would say probably 20 feet, but that's me kind of guessing. I do carry cordage on my person. Maybe another day I'll do an EDC dump, but this is part of my everyday carry. This is about 9 feet that I have right here, and it goes in the cargo pockets that I carry along with a bunch of other cool stuff. So one day maybe I'll do an EDC dump.
And he does, because my side step broke on my Jeep today. And I was like, man, I need some zip ties or some cordage, and bam, he pulls it right out of his pocket.
Yeah, you never know. One of the important things of having that 550 cord for me is in stopping bleeding. If you don't have a tourniquet on you, because of the nature of the work that I do, that's a big thing for us when we do tactical combat casualty care training or tactical emergency casualty training. So TCCC or TECC. Anyways, not big tangent.
Maybe a future video.
Future video,
Never
possibly.
Let us know in the comments below if you guys are interested in that stuff.
Also, so still sticking to the outside, y'all see I got a plastic bag here. So obviously trash is the first thing that would come to mind, but I use it for an emergency poncho. Because again, if this is all I have, it's a beautiful day, we're up in the mountains, you know, the weather can turn like that. So if I don't have, if I'm not carrying my hidden woodsman day rug that has some of the more intricate stuff like a poncho and blah blah blah, at least I have that trash back there for that reason, as well as for who knows what other reasons. Correct. Now obviously I got a little keychain here with my blood type. I'm a fan of always having my blood type on my body or on my gear, just in case, you never know. And I can clip stuff onto there. So that's pretty much the outside perimeter. Cracking this thing open, I'm gonna go straight to the canteen. You guys, I'm gonna just assume that a lot of people know this setup. Canteen cup, and that's canteen with its little stove burner. Great concept, love it. What I've incorporated in here, this is the Firebox Nano. This opens up to a small portable hiking stove. You can use biofuel, alcohol, or like today I was testing out these S-bits that perhaps tablets. I ended up having to use wood in conjunction just to get the water boiling. But the point is that this, and as well, a little pocket bellow. If those that don't know, it's, blow wrong way or whichever way. Get that air forced in there, so I'm not getting my face all up in that wood stove. Apparently, this evolved from using car antennas from the really salty old timers that figured out, hey, we can use car antennas as a pocket bellow. Well, this is the evolution of that. So all of this, I'm not going to break this all out because I just packed it away and cleaned it up. But again, Firebox Nano. Go online, look at it. It fits perfectly in here in one of the pouches. But again, I'm sure a lot of you guys know what this is already.
So it's pretty deep well.
It is deep in there on two sides. If you put too much, then that canteen is not going to fit.
And then you have the top where it extends. So if you have extra gear and it's
correct
going out the top, I mean.
Correct. If I wanted to do that, that's great. But to me, that's just, I almost thought about cutting it off because I just don't find it necessary. But
well, the good thing is it keeps all the debris, woods debris, out of your kit.
Correct. I do like to just crack this open and get to my canteen and drink water, but it's there if I end up needing it before I start cutting stuff off that I may regret later. Going into the this first outer pouch, simple little Boy Scout compass that I've had for a long time.
I actually, you know what? Him and I are almost like twins, because when I was growing up, I had one exactly like that.
Yep.
It's just crazy, the similarity.
It's simple to get to. It's easy. I actually rely on this watch compass just to look and see where I go from that. And again, part of my EDC, just a cheap little Coglins compass. Again, maybe I'll do an EDC dump and talk about all that. But compass right in there, super easy to use. Nothing too crazy for like land nav, reading a map. That's in another kit. Cracking open this pouch, a lot of goodies. I'm just kind of start laying stuff out. The first flap, it's dedicated to fire. Some Ranger bands, which is cut up tire tubes in case I need to burn these for a long burn extension. cotton balls I need to replenish, but you see some of this, this is what creates your fat wood. This is pine sap. So John and I were walking around and this tree was just oozing it. So
yeah.
I've collected it, and in conjunction with the cotton balls, starts any fire. A little fat wood here that came with some firewood from somewhere, I don't remember where, but it's just good to have in there. A lot of redundancy. That's in the first pouch in there. Then we get into little coffee cubes in here. I don't use those regularly. Those are there just in case we need a hot beverage or some ramen flavor. The ramen's been consumed, but I keep those packets because, again, this is all I have. Some hot beverages where there's a little bit of sodium or just a little caffeine. That's a great pick-me-up.
Yeah, you're cramping up or something that might take the edge off.
If need be. Kind of going back to what's provided by the Canteen cook kit itself. This comes with the Canteen, the little spork setup. And this is what you use to put into the Canteen if you're gonna put it in a fire and pull it out. Almost got myself there. So again, a lot of people, I'm sure you know, if not, just look up Self-Reliance Outfitters. That's part that came with it, as well as with the Canteen cover to boil. Part of my adding in, this did not come with it, is this bright orange bandana, and I believe this came from Kit Fox Outfitters. Just little survival tips, but it's for
good signaling device too.
Correct. Think of all the many reasons you would use a bandana. Everything from using it as a water filter, a signaling device,
a sling for medical.
I mean, fill in the blank. It's like 550 cord. You know, how many uses can you come up with? And then lastly, in this pouch, one of my diamond sharpening plates. So I always carry a diamond sharpening plate because they're quick and easy to use. I can make a whole video about knife sharpening and knowing how to.
He needs to, because this guy knows how to sharpen a blade. I mean, scary sharp.
And it's all like anything else, you know, the more you practice, the more you learn, the better you get. So for me, this is all I really need. I have a more elaborate portable kit.
And that's what, an Easy Lap, right?
This Something is like actually DMT.
Oh,
DMT,
okay.
Diamond Technology. Y'all see how the red plastic comes through. I'm not too much of a big fan of that. Now it works for quick touch-ups, but I'm more of an Easy Lap fan and their products. And on a more elaborate review, I'll break out my Easy Lap products that I have used for years, you know, for a long time, and they last. So that's in that front pouch. So in a sense, that's kind of it, just to give a full-blown presentation of everything.
I mean, you could, with a couple packs of ramen, some water, you could go out for a day or two, no problem, just with that kit right there.
I don't necessarily need a backpack for what this does for a one-day walking around the woods. For me, this is all on. Even if the weather went bad and for some reason we had to stay the night, one thing I do know I probably should throw in there that I'm missing is an emergency space blanket. But I have that. I have one of those bivy sacks. It's a small orange one that's in here, but I should get a space blanket packed away in here. But that's kind of why I have the trash bag. Let me just go ahead and pull it out, because it's a
you throw that trash bag on, throw some debris in there, create a little bit of dead air space.
Yeah,
and then you're good to go.
I should. Now that we're talking about it, we're gonna go hit one of our favorite Army surplus stores. I'm gonna pick one up because there's no excuse of why I don't have one in that back pocket. But these are your basic fundamentals of, you know, pick your survival expert instructor, and pretty much this is what'll help you get you through a day if things go bad. This isn't like, hey, let's go have some coffee and some ramen. No. This is kind of backup stuff. My primary concern having on me is this. I wanted the largest container, and I don't like camelbacks. I don't like stuff riding on my back. I'd rather have stuff slinging over on the side. So think of a Haversack Canteen survival kit. So that's pretty much it. I hope this kind of helped give people ideas as to how to modify and build upon, because again, none of this is new. This is all, everyone's gonna be like, oh, that came out like years ago. Yeah, but I'm just showing how I've modified what works, and this system's been working for me. It's been a little over a year, adding and taking away and blah blah blah. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys' time and attention, and see you on the next video.
So I want to thank Jaime for doing this video. The goal of videos like this is to just kind of spark ideas on things that you should be carrying. Now, keep in mind, it's going to vary a little bit where you are geographically on the planet, but there's certain things that you're always going to carry: a combustion device, some sort of cover, cordage, things like that, just the basics, first aid kit. So hopefully, if you're new to going outdoors and exploring, maybe this information has been helpful for you. I'll leave links in the video description below on some of the reviews that we have done collectively over the years on some of this stuff, and just to help expand the knowledge base. If there's topics that you would like to see us talk about, to demonstrate, because between both of us, we've got a lot of years of experience coming out here, we'd be more than glad to instruct and help, and also for us to learn. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.